Y'all want to know something that's really crazy? I'm going to be turning 30 next year, and that feels really insane because I'm literally just a girl, literally just a baby. But anyway, as I sit here and think about this year of being 29 and the last year of my 20s, I think about all the things that I said I was going to do, all the things that I didn't do, all the desires that I have that I put little to no effort to. And I just decided that this is going to be the year that I transform and change my life. And this is the perfect moment and opportunity to honor the promises and the commitments that I've made to myself. And I'm sharing this with you guys because one, there is nothing like public accountability. Me putting this out there and sharing this with you guys, I would love to look back and watch this video in like a year from now or like several months from now and see that I'm actually doing the things that I'm talking about. But number two, I also want you guys to honor the promises and the commitments that you made to yourselves so you can also change your life. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 5 things that I'm going to be doing to honor the promises and the commitments that I made and making. So let's get started. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write a list of 3 to 5 different promises that you're going to make to yourself. Now we're going to start off with 3 to 5 because we want this to be a number that feels good, but we also want this to be a number that's sustainable, digestible, because we don't want to write down too much and get overwhelmed and then do nothing. Like that analysis paralysis where there's so many decisions you have to make that you just can't actually make a decision. So 3 to 5 is a really good starting point. I recommend writing it in the place that feels best to you. For me, I'm kind of a girl that likes to handwrite stuff, so I'll write it in my journal, but I also like to have a digital copy on the computer somewhere just because I like to be able to reference my list in 2 different places. So write it down wherever that feels good to you. It's a lot easier to get these promises out of your mind and onto paper or onto your computer than it is to keep them in your mind. And so write down these promises to yourself, and they don't have to all be big. They can be small, they can be medium. It's really about whatever feels good to you. I think for me, I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 big ones, and the rest are going to either be small or medium, just because I want to make sure that this is actually something that I'm going to follow through on, and I do not want to overwhelm myself. So do what feels good to you, but write it down. The second thing that you're going to do is you're going to break down your goals into actionable steps. And I want you guys to think about these 2 questions as you're breaking down your goals. The first one is, what can I do every day to take baby steps towards my promise? The second question is, what is the first thing that needs to happen in order to honor this promise to myself? So what's something you can do every day? And then also, what is the first thing that you are going to do? I want to give you an example of one of the medium-sized promises that I decided to make to myself. So mine is going to be that I want to be consistent on YouTube. And the very first thing that I need to do in order for that to happen is I need to write down a list of different ideas for videos. I think this is my first step because it's like, if I don't have any ideas for what to put out there, then I have to think about ideas. And that can take me some time. But if I have like a bank full of ideas, I can just reference that list and then I can decide what video it is that I want to record rather than every single day thinking about videos that I want to make. I'm going to have my list in place to choose from. Of course, I can always like add and take away from the list, but a list must be in play. My second thing that I'm going to do is find the best days to record, edit, and to basically create a schedule that's going to help me to remain consistent. So I really do try to align my days with what I have going on. After work, a lot of times I have Pilates. And now with daylight savings time approaching and it getting dark earlier, it's going to be really important for me to maintain a schedule because the sunlight is going to be very fleeting very quickly and very early in the day. And so this schedule is just going to help me to know, okay, I have to record this day no matter what. I have to edit this day no matter what. I have to do this on this day no matter what. And it's just going to help keep me consistent rather than trying to figure out the guesswork of when I need to do something. It's already going to be set into schedule. Third thing that I'm going to do is make sure that I have a script written for the video that I want to record. So for me, when I do like talking videos like this, I really like to have a script because oftentimes I forget what I'm going to say, and just being able to glance at my script is just a reminder of what it is that I want to say. And even right now, guys, I literally have my laptop. I mean, you can probably see it in my glasses, but I literally have my laptop in front of me with bullet points of everything that I want to talk about, because it just makes it so much easier for me to record videos when I already know what I'm going to say. The last thing that I'm going to do to stay consistent on YouTube is to actually record the video. So right now, as you guys have noticed, that I am not always consistent. A lot of that was because like life was kind of just doing its thing, but now it's because I don't really have a schedule. I have ideas, but I don't have a schedule. So I'm kind of at this step one where I know the type of content and videos that I want to record, but I don't have like the when, the where, and the what figured out. And I think that's what's causing me to not be consistent. It's just because I don't have this routine or schedule worked out. It's just making it a lot harder to actually be consistent because I'm kind of just doing things on a whim. So after I create that schedule, I feel like everything will kind of just fall into place. But the very last thing to do is just to record the video and then follow the schedule from there. Because once it's recorded, I can edit it, I can create the thumbnail, and so forth and so forth. So I hope that was helpful in like giving you guys an example as to how to break down your promise in actionable steps so you can actually follow through and do it. The third thing that I'm doing to honor my promises and commitments to myself is I am going to create mantras and words of affirmation to help keep me going. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely a words of affirmation girl. Like that is something that helps keep me going. And it's also something that pulls me back into like a positive mindset. This is what I feel works for me. At my workstation in my office, which is also in my kitchen, I have a wall next to my computer that has sticky notes with affirmations on them. And as I'm working, I can always just glance over and read them and recite them to myself. And they're just little reminders to keep going and reminders about different goals and desires that I have for myself. If you're not like the sticky note kind of person that writes down your affirmations, there is also an app on your phone. It's called I Am, and they give you affirmations throughout your entire day. But there's also a part on the app where you can customize and create your own affirmation. I think that one's really cool because I don't know about y'all, but I do spend a lot of time on my phone, and having an affirmation like pop up that's meant for me, that's custom to what it is that I feel like I need, is really going to help me to probably not only stop doom scrolling, but also to just like spend less time on my phone and more time working towards the promise that I actually made to myself. These affirmations, like I said, they're just like little nuggets to help keep you going, because this is not necessarily something that's super easy to do, especially when it comes to being consistent. So the affirmation is here to just help keep you on track. You can do an I am statement, and I will statement, really about whatever feels good to you. And the thing about affirmations that I want to point out is that even if you write down an affirmation, you don't always have to believe it. So sometimes I write down affirmations that feel so far out of reach, but I write it down, I look at it, I repeat it back to myself so much sometimes to the point where I start to believe it in my heart. Part of affirmations, I feel like, is really being a little delulu is a salulu type of situation. Really just about putting out there what it is that you want, affirming it so much that you eventually believe it in your heart. So don't feel like when you write this affirmation, you have to immediately believe it. Eventually, by you being consistent and showing up for yourself and honoring your promises to yourself, that affirmation that you write is going to eventually feel like very real to you. The fourth thing that we are going to do is we are going to extend ourselves grace. And we're going to extend ourselves grace because life does happen. So there might be times where you don't honor all of your promises to yourself, or there might even be a time where you fall off and you're not consistent anymore. I want you to give yourself grace because life can be hard and is hard. Just some things that are out of our control that we literally cannot help. And then sometimes we have other things going on in our life where certain things do take a back burner. So I want you to extend yourself as much grace as possible. Give yourself that time to feel what you need to feel, to go through the emotions and things like that. But always remember and come back to that promise that you made to yourself at the end of the day. The final thing that we are going to do to honor our promises and our commitments to ourselves, and this might be my favorite thing, it's probably tied with affirmations, but anyway, it's to reward yourself. Never forget to reward yourself. Rewards are also like little treats along the way that help keep you going and that help keep you motivated to continue to show up for yourself and to continue to honor those promises and commitments that you made. Reward, you can do it in whatever way that feels good to you. It could be big, it could be a big reward for a big goal, it could be a small reward for a big goal. It's really about you and what you have going on. And I'll give you guys an example for how I have recently rewarded myself. So I'm on this fitness journey, and this journey to just be really consistent when it comes to working out and eating healthy and just overall like wellness in general. And so I completed 12 Pilates classes in 1 month, in my very first month of ever taking Pilates classes. And I rewarded myself with a lox bagel sandwich from this coffee shop in San Diego because I had wanted that sandwich for a long time, but it's $15. And y'all know in this economy, $15 for a sandwich is absurd. So I was just like, once I complete these 12 Pilates classes and I show myself that I'm consistent and that I'm honoring my promises to myself, I'm going to get myself this sandwich to kind of just help me to be excited and to keep going. So I got myself that sandwich, and it did make me feel really good to know that I was able to reward myself in a small way, but also in a big way, because 12 classes is pretty challenging to complete in a month, and I was really proud of myself for doing that. And fun fact, y'all, I'm actually coming up on my 24th class on October 18th, and so I'm going to be rewarding myself with something else. I'm not exactly sure what yet. It'll probably be some kind of food item. But anyway, I want you guys to reward yourself for your promises in whatever way that feels good to you. Those are the 5 things that I and you, me and you, we are going to be doing to honor our promises and our commitment to ourselves. Because when you are consistent with honoring your promises and your commitments to yourself, that is going to build your self-confidence, your self-trust, your discipline, your growth, and all of those different things. It's going to just make you feel really good and empowered that you were able to do the thing that you said you were going to do. Always remember that it's never too late to start going after what you want, and it's never too late to decide to change your life. What is it that you're going to do today? Meet me in the comments and let me know what you guys decide. In the description, will also leave my 3 to 5 promises to myself so you guys can see that as well. But until then, I thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.